I'm Caleb.
And I'm Haley.
And I'm having cocktails with my ex.
Oh my gosh, I literally forgot.
Yeah. Welcome to the very first episode of the cocktails edition of Coffee with My Ex. We are recording in the evening. We are pouring ourselves a drink of choice. And we are going to do this episode a little bit differently than usual. It's going to be a little less structured and a little more off the cuff, and us just kicking back, having some drinks, and answering your guys' questions that you sent in. Because you sent in a lot.
Oh, yeah.
I was quite overwhelmed by the response.
I haven't seen any of the questions. The pictures that you sent me, like the questions you sent me, never downloaded.
Oh, I apologize. They probably never uploaded on my end.
Yeah.
Okay. So. Well, I think before we start, I think we should start this episode out with a shot. A shot. And you don't
have any liquor, but I will be here for you. Are you like pulling it? Oh, I thought you were about to pull that shit.
I don't have a shot glass over here, but I'm going to do it. That sounded so crispy wow, I can't wait. What a listening experience. All right.
Yeah.
Take it. Are you not doing a shot of vodka or wine? All right, here we go. 3, 2.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, boy, yeah, shit.
Not even a chase, buddy?
Oh, my God, I forgot a chase. Oh, my God.
You got too ambitious. Also, for all the listeners here, I'm wearing pajamas.
For all the listeners here, Haley, I'm glad that we got her here today. I'm really glad we got her here today. She is present.
I have not been present.
She's as present as she can be. She showed up in like spaghetti straps, and you look like one of those.
Put a necklace on.
You look like one of those girls in high school who had the red lanyards on.
Absolutely. I'm here for the vibes.
If you didn't know, the in our high school, when they used to put red lanyards on the girls who were pregnant. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
It was
Scarlet Letter.
That was literally the scarlet lanyard.
Yeah, bad.
Oh my gosh! Times have changed. Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Wow, that went down hard. I felt that. I feel that.
You feel the warm and fuzzies?
It's warm. I wouldn't say fuzzy. Also, I have been doing this thing where, again, I tried to not drink every night, and I spent yesterday I gave in with Cameron, and I had probably 4 glasses of wine, and I was getting on Instagram stories. Because it's really hard for me. I don't know why. It's so hard for me to get on Instagram stories. I only, I post my content, and then I leave, and then I'll maybe watch TikTok.
You actually never look at my stories.
I don't know why. I get so overwhelmed with the task. I really don't watch people's, vlogs on YouTube either. It's not my content that I usually consume. But I got wine drunk, and so I just went on Instagram stories, and I was having the time of my life just catching up with friends, seeing what everyone's up to. I was responding to everybody's story. I
love responding to stories when I'm plastered. That's my thing.
I had such a great time. And I remember going to bed being like, I want to do this every night.
Oh my God.
Can you tell the listeners what you're drinking?
I'm drinking a Chardonnay, honey.
Chardonnay.
I don't even know what kind. I can't see it from here. But it's a Chardonnay that's 14% alcohol.
If you don't know, Haley judges absolutely everything she drinks by the percentage of alcohol only. You could give her something that was literally made the cheapest way possible, but if it says 15% on it, she's going to buy it.
That's right. It's just the most cost effective.
Again, yeah, because we also come from a mentality of when we were kids drinking, you got the most bang for your buck. And if you were not going to spend $10 on a bottle that was 10%, no, that's a waste of money.
Absolutely. I mean, you get it. I know that you get it. For some reason, you always dog on me about it, but I know that you understand. You do the same thing.
But I'm less. The other day, I got a bottle of wine, and I was like, ooh, yeah, she's 13.5, and you're like, I've only been doing 14.5 lately. I was like, jeez, chill out.
And then it's just one glass of wine, and you're good. You know what I mean? One glass of wine, and I'm just like, Cruising.
You need to just like drink vodka straight.
Yes. Speaking of, hold on. Let's since this is a cocktail with my ex special. Are you gonna be able to talk about the first time you ever had a drink?
Oh yeah, the time I tried to hook up with my best friend.
Okay, do I know this story?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell it.
Okay, so she was 15. I was. I don't know. This is probably awful to talk about. But I'm gonna do it. Who's gonna stop me?
That's the point. Yeah.
So I was 15, and I was in high school, and okay. Let me preface this with I was a good kid. Still am a good kid.
That's what they all say.
But I was a really good kid. I did not curse. I was a goody two shoes. Didn't want to do anything. Say no to drugs and alcohol, all that stuff. So I was 15, and I decided I was spending the night at my friend Luke Harris's house. And
Luke, always, why is Luke always in our mouths? Why does his name always get brought up in this podcast?
Well, he wasn't in my mouth, and that's where this story goes. So, I was spending the night at his house, and we were best friends, and his parents had a liquor cabinet, and we were downstairs in the basement. And when when you go to your friend's house, and there was no alcohol in my house, that would never happen. But his parents trusted him and whatnot. They had a liquor cabinet, and it wasn't locked. So I don't know why we did it, but I was feeling so rambunctious, and I was all into trying new things and exploring because anxiety hadn't hit me yet, and I wasn't terrified of every little thing in life. So we decided to have a little bit of alcohol, and we were in a safe space. We were not going anywhere. It was just him and I thought, this would be a good idea. And I'll also preface this with I had a huge crush on him. I really,
yes, you did.
Obviously, I think I really, truly, I've never said this before. I really, truly believe that was my first love.
Caleb.
I do.
Stop.
I was literally, I was in love with him for a while.
Stop.
I was. I'm not going to lie. I've had a shot.
You should. You should lie.
I don't think I've ever told, I'm sure he knows that, but I've never said it.
That's different. I feel different.
Well, it is what it is.
By the way, this is my first high school boyfriend that he's talking about.
Yeah, it was your first high school boyfriend. I was your third? Second? I was your second?
I want to die.
Anyways, so we're hanging out, and we're trying, we get into the apple pucker, and I think we drink quite a bit of apple pucker, and I don't remember exactly what I felt. All I know is that things were very blurry, and I was very happy. And I remember trying to trying to kiss him when I was 15. I was chasing him around the house. Trying to.
You used to be so aggressive.
I was aggressive.
When you used to drink.
Yeah, that's another story.
You were just chasing people around and shit.
Yeah.
Always.
Definitely have grown as a person. Am not as aggressive and forward, and we've learned about consent and reading the room. So, yeah, that didn't work out. He did not. He was not mean about it, but he did not want to. He was not feeling the same way I did. So I just remember getting really plastered. I don't remember having a hangover. I remember I never used to feel awful when I was younger. When I used to drink
TBT.
Before my brain ever developed.
Right.
Thinking about it now, I'm why would you? You were drinking as a child? That's not okay.
Yeah.
If I found my kid doing that, I would kill them.
Yeah.
Anyways, that was my first time drinking.
Hey Alexa, make the room soft white. Or wait, no, that's not what I meant. Hey Alexa, make the lights soft white. No.
Which one do you want?
Hey Alexa, make the lights soft white.
What a flex. What a flex.
All right. We're good. I feel better.
There was a big shadow.
Like
it
I was
looked
in a
like
spotlight.
you were, in tours when the opening number, you see the silhouette of the pop star.
Yeah.
That's the vibe you were giving.
Oh God, I'm so hot. Guys, it's literally 100 degrees in LA for no good reason. Are you okay?
Did you not hear that?
I did, but I wanted to ignore it.
Well, last night, wait, I have to say one more thing. Last night, I was on one of those food benders where I do this thing where it's like a ritual. I have to have dessert every single night in some way. So last night, I wanted a yogurt bowl. And I made we had dinner, and then I made a giant yogurt bowl knowing damn well that I was full. I was already full.
Giant.
And
You make the biggest yogurt bowls ever.
I ate the whole thing pretty quickly because I feel like if I eat fast, like I can trick my brain into not knowing how full it is. And then I just sat there for a few minutes, and then I just ran into the bathroom, and I puked 4 times. I mean, like, I was heaving. It wasn't even just a spit up. Like, I was mortified at myself, and like I didn't need anyone to tell me that I had a problem because I knew at that moment I was like, you have just literally gorged yourself and you need to take a time out. Like I used to be able to be like, no, maybe I just have like acid reflux or something, but no, I'm just like eating past my capacity.
Caleb.
That's awful to say. That's awful, but I did it. Anyways, what was your first time drinking like? Haley Jordan 12?
So my first time drinking it's really funny because I didn't really drink that much. I was so scared to drink. It was the summer the summer before 9th grade.
Ninth grade. Wow.
You know what I mean? Like it was like the week before I was like about to start high school. And I started cheering, like I tried out for like cheer camp and stuff like that. And so I was in cheerleading. And we had practices like the week before school. And so I met like a bunch of new girls or whatever. But a lot of the girls I already knew, obviously. But there was like this new girl in town. And her mom was like super like wanting her daughter to be popular. So this girl became friends with all the popular kids in high school. Mind you, I'm very like medium. Like I'm a very medium popularity. Like I'm very just there, you know? Like I had popular friends, but I also had like unpopular friends.
Yeah.
So I got invited to this little get together with her and like a bunch of other girls from school. Sarah was there, and like I didn't really know Sarah that well then, and these girls were crazy. These girls were insane.
I remember this.
They were like skinny dipping. They like took off like their bathing suits, and literally they were like wanting like me and Sarah were like, no, I'm not taking off my bathing suit. It was only me 14? And Sarah, though, who were like, no. Yeah, I had just turned 14.
Oh, my gosh.
And I was like, this is like the first time I've ever, like, hung out with these people outside of school, kind of, like, mostly. And they were wanting me and Sarah, since we were dressed, they were wanting me and Sarah to literally take pictures of them.
That is a criminal case waiting to happen.
I was like, what is going on? Sarah and I were so appalled. We're like, what? And then her mom, they had a fridge full of wine coolers.
Oh, yeah.
And so her mom was like, yeah, everyone can have a wine cooler. And I was like, oh my God.
At 14?
At 14. And I think like because she wanted her kid to be popular, that was the way.
She's like the Mean Girls
you know
mom.
What I mean? No, literally, actually. I took like maybe 3 sips of this wine cooler, and I had to pee like every 5 minutes.
Did you break the seal?
Like I'm not kidding you. I probably had 4 whole drinks of that wine cooler, and I gave it away, which is so funny because I would never ever do that. But like then I was so scared. First and foremost, I was like, oh, my mom's gonna find out. You know what I mean? I was terrified. And also I was like, these girls are crazy. And also I cannot stop urinating. Like I cannot drink anymore. Like I'm peeing every 5 seconds. And I remember one time I went to the bathroom, and one of the girls was like, she's peeing a lot. Oh God. Don't say that. And I was like, I don't want to be
you were
here
that
anymore.
girl. Oh, you were the girl who pees a lot.
Anyway, that's my story. And I was 14. I was freshly 14.
Oh my gosh. We started young, because then we continued in high school, and we had our own escapades together at various friends' houses. It was crazy because we were like, I remember telling my mom, it's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna spend the night at this person's house, and everyone's like coordinating. Mm-hmm. It was mind blowing the lengths we would go to secure the goods and text like college kids, or like steal it from parents and replace it with water. And also, if my kids ever did that, what parent doesn't know that their vodka has been replaced with water? Like I would know the next day. It's just like those type of parents who have all the alcohol for show. And like, that's just not my journey.
Not my journey.
What am I going to buy it to look at?
Right. we used to pull some stunts off, but at the same time, we were always in a home. Not saying that this makes it okay, but like we were always in a home. Like no one ever left.
Yeah.
We were just like literally doing the same shit we do now,
Right.
which is like
Can I
stay
also
inside
say-
and drink and listen to music.
Exactly. No, we were as responsible as you can be as a child. We were responsible
Yeah.
because we were never the types of kids that would get in the car and drive. Like we would never like mix like substances or get crazy. Like we were always very
Right.
consistently responsible about our drinking. We really
We were, and there was like never like a ton of people there. There was like enough, like as many spots as there were to sleep. That's how many people were there.
we were very adult about it, I shall say.
We really were.
This is totally unrelated, but I was about to text you earlier because I had something happen today, just a story, and I wanted to save it for the podcast because I have had a damn day. I woke up and I had to do an interview with. I had two interviews today, actually. But
All you were talking about all day yesterday is how busy you were.
Listen,
today.
I had
You're
things
like,
to
I
do.
have 2 interviews.
Here's the deal. But you know how much like mentally I get drained and destroyed when I have something to do. So I
know.
I had 2 interviews, and then I also had to teach my mom how to use her new iPad, which I had to block off quite a bit of time for.
Yeah.
But I woke up this morning and I had an interview with Cheryl Hines, who she was first of all the mom in RV, which is how I knew her, but she's also the mom in Bad Moms Christmas. She was Kristen Bell's mom, which Kristen Bell obviously love, obsessed. And she is also a star on Curb Your Enthusiasm, which I haven't seen, but is a huge show. So I was really excited to do that, and I got on, and also Keegan-Michael Key was on the show as well, which I don't know if you know him, but he is, if you Googled his name right now, do you know who I'm talking about? Google him and just tell me if you recognize him.
There's a lot of things happening over here, Caleb, for me to Google something.
It's just like he was on the show.
What's his name?
Keegan, Keegan.
Oh, I see him.
Yeah. Do you recognize him?
Yeah, I do, but I don't know from what.
So he's in so many things, and he also does that skit with the other guy who I forget. He has a bunch of like sketch. Anyways, so I'm on this like podcast Zoom show, and I am being the fitness marshal, and they're interviewing me, asking me questions. But right before this is all happening, there's construction going on at our place. I posted in my story the other day. It is intense construction. We wake up to hammers and saws. It sounds...
What are they doing?
I don't know. That's the most maddening thing. And so
Yeah.
I go outside and I have my whole interview set up. And I'm like, hey guys, can you like just quiet down for 15 minutes? I'm doing an interview. And they look at me and I realize, like they don't speak English. They can understand me. And so I'm doing like hand gestures and I'm saying just like 11:45, like stop at 11:45. And they keep saying like, okay. And I'm like, no sound. And I go back in and I swear to God, as soon as I shut the door, he starts hammering again. And so then I'm like, okay, like maybe I wasn't clear. So then I walk out again and I'm like gesturing to my ear, like phone, like I'm on a phone call. And they go, oh, okay. And then I shut the door and he takes the hammer and starts banging on the wall.
What are they doing? Are they like destroying the 3rd floor?
I swear to God, they're just hammering for the sake of hammering.
I believe it.
But I sit down to do this Skype interview with these like very notable celebrities, and it sounds like they're building a new building inside of my house. And so we're emailing like our landlord and everything, trying to get someone to come over and stop them. So in the middle of the interview, while the hammering is going on, it's my time to get up and teach them the cake dance. So I have Cheryl Hines and Keegan-Michael Key and 50 other people standing up, and I'm leading them through like how to eat their cake and throw it in their face and rub it on their body. In the midst of this, my landlord bursts through my door and runs in, starts yelling at the construction workers to be quiet. Juice is screaming at the landlord, trying to like bite him, and Cameron is running around in circles with his hands on his head. And I'm sitting there going, throw it on your face, rub it on your body.
What? How does your landlord going into your apartment and yelling at the construction
because
into
he speaks
your
Spanish.
actual apartment?
Yes, he came into my apartment. He knocked on the door like abruptly. Cameron opened it. He like runs in, goes and starts yelling at the construction workers while I'm 5
Outside?
feet away. What?
Like outside.
Yeah, so they're on. When I tell you they're on my patio, they are on my patio. They climbed. I swear to God, they scaled the walls like spider monkeys, and were on my patio, hammering. And so all this is going on while I'm standing up in my kitchen, like doing this motion, screaming about cake, and they think I'm crazy. Like there's no other explanation other than this man is psychotic. And I had just never, and meanwhile, the people on the Zoom show, I text them after and I was like, I'm so sorry. They're like, we had no idea anything was going on. It sounded perfect from our end. And I said, we witnessed a miracle today. That's what we did.
Smoke and mirrors, man.
Smoke and mirrors. So I just needed to tell you about that. That's the only story I had. Cameron was sitting on the floor in the kitchen, just like about to in tears before the interview started, because we were out of options, and I was in my normal like panic mode, like I can't do this, cancel the interview, and then I was just pull through. Oh, and also I was like freaking out too because I've been having a red patch on my face, right where I got my filler a year ago, and I'm like obviously convinced that I have like a delayed infection. So
you are literally crazy.
So I was like
You're
taking
literally
pictures to like
actually
send to my doctor and ask him if I was like dying, you know. A lot happened today. But let's move on to fan questions.
It's so damn hot. I mean, it is so damn hot.
Yeah, Haley had to turn her air off.
What happened? What happened outside? Because shit.
They got
We had 100 degrees outside.
It happened very fast. Oh, I just got really hungry. Oh my gosh, I need carbs. Oh my gosh, I need carbs. I want cheesy bread.
Oh my God, relax.
Need cheesy bread.
Oh, is this the night that you're going to let Karen order Domino's?
No, maybe. He ordered it yesterday, and I had like a bite.
We did.
I ate it the same night that I threw up.
Caleb.
All right, so we asked you guys to send in some questions for Cocktails with My Ex, since we had literally nothing to talk about. And somehow we're 25 minutes in, and we haven't even gotten to questions. Let's start off some fan Q&A. And the first question is from Miss Mara Cover, where... Mara is a friend of Haley and I's. Well, she was friends with Haley first, and they went to college together, right?
And we danced together. And she was in a few Fitness Marshall videos.
She was in Closer. She was in All the Way Up. And... Play. Yeah.
Yeah.
All the way.
And she did a few shows with us. Like she did at least
She did our
one
Cincinnati
show
show with us at Cosmic Studios.
Yeah.
Yes, she did.
That's so crazy. God, I love her so much. She's like one of my favorite people to create with.
Yes.
She's just cool.
She's great. I shoved her in a corner in a hotel.
Yeah, here we go.
Between the
Once
wall
again,
and the bed.
aggressive.
Yeah. I used to be very aggressive when I drank.
Yes.
Like wild. Like actually uncontrollable. Like problematic. Like you would cancel me in a second if you recorded me drunk.
Absolutely.
I love personal growth.
Love to see it.
Love to see it. She says, I'm telling you what, I am feeling loosey-goosey because I put 2 shots in here, but I put 2 1.5 ounce shots because I don't believe in 1 ounce shots, so it's like really like 3.
I don't either.
Anyways.
I wish I had some tequila. That's what I'm really craving right now.
Tequila, da da da. Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
God, I hate Mara. Why? I hate this question.
Yeah, Mara.
I hate any question that's like, even if it's like, where do you see yourself in 6 months? And I'm just like,
where are you going to be in 2 weeks?
yeah, right. Like, I don't know. I'm like a very, like, let the wind take me wherever it wants.
That's how I got her here.
I hope that soon I get into like a mode where I'm actually planning out my future, but I feel like this is the time to like not. I feel like this is the time where I'm like, I try to just take every opportunity that I get that makes sense for me.
Yeah.
And you can't always control what opportunities come your way. Mm-hmm. And so it's, especially in this business. And so it's really hard for me to plan because like, yeah, like at some point I would like kids, I would like a family, I would like a house. but I have done nothing to start that.
Yeah, I think we're in a weird. Obviously, it's your 20s, so that's like obviously a time of unpredictability for anybody. But especially, I feel like in our industry, there's a lot of things like we want to do, and a lot of things like that we have in the works. But really, the whole part about being in the entertainment industry is being adaptable and just, like you said, taking every opportunity and making the best of it. You really can't. You really can't plan.
You can plan. That's what I've learned is that, like, I think at one point I did plan, and then once I realized that every single thing that I had planned wasn't happening because of other things happening, I was like, honestly, what's the point?
There are too many things that are just not in your control.
But, like, yeah, there's a lot of things are not in my control. I can only just do my best, and like sometimes you don't even know what you want until it's in front of you.
Right. This question is from one of our favorite people, Miss Sheila Thompson.
Oh my God.
Who?
Oh my God. Speaking of Sheila, I was looking through my old Snapchat memories the other day.
Oh, I haven't checked those that you sent me yet.
You need to check those. I should have sent you the one because there was one of me, Sheila, and Lindsay, her daughter.
Yeah.
In Cancun. In the discoteca. And we were sloshed. I would like have them both, like I had my arms on them both, and I was like, yeah. Anyway, so we get fucked up with our friends.
Don't know, we had like a Cancun trip that we did a few years ago with we did it with one of our friends who had like a vacation company, but we had like 20 booties fly to Mexico, and we had never met before, and we all just had like a week of drinking and games and like fitness martial classes, and it was
fun.
The most bizarre and wonderful experience.
It was wonderful.
I truly, but like honestly, getting to meet Sheila, and I'm not just saying this, was one of the most special things, because still to this day, it's just like instantly I see her comment everywhere. I swear we're friends.
Yeah,
it's just
absolutely.
It's just crazy how things like that can bring you together. And it also amazes me that she still wants to watch the videos and comment after all this time. She's not tired of us.
I know. I love her.
But she says, most embarrassing drunk moment, LOL. And that's a hard question, so maybe you can, because like I feel like the most is difficult, but is there any time you can remember?
I have a really bad memory, especially when I'm embarrassed.
Oh, I have yours, by the way, if you don't.
What is
Chicago.
I don't know if I was embarrassed. Oh, like when they found me in the bathroom?
Vanessa Hudgens?
I'm not embarrassed by that. I'm not embarrassed.
You're not embarrassed. We're gonna insert the Snapchat here and the audio.
Okay, so it was Chicago Pride.
Yep.
And we had started early. I mean, we went to the festival during the day. I was sloshed there. I was sloshed. That was the Snapchat of me, like, we were leaving the Airbnb, and I was like, I like bread. And then you were like, I said something about, like, you said something to me about, like, a potato. Like, you called me, like, a potato or something. I was like, butter me up and put me in the oven. Anyway, so later that night, I had apparently taken my top off.
You're trash.
So I was just walking around in a bra, and I'm sitting on a street corner in Chicago, screaming at this girl who's very lovely, but she looked like Vanessa Hudgens, and that's all I could talk about.
No, she didn't.
Apparently.
I
cracked my phone. I cracked my phone into a million pieces. Like,
you were literally walking around the streets of Chicago with no top on, a cracked phone, and no shoes or socks. You were barefoot on the streets of Chicago.
I have an email. You're right. But it's right. Leave me alone.
Coming up to a stranger screaming that she looks like Vanessa Hudgens.
She was telling me to get off the street. She was like, honey, no. Honey, no, get off the street.
Gabriella, you're so kind. I cannot believe you.
Also, that was the night that so we had a shared Airbnb with this lovely gay couple. They were like a nurse. They're both nurses or something. But
that was like their actual apartment. And we took it over.
That was their actual apartment, and they rented out a room, and we thought that we were renting out a whole ass house.
We did not realize it was a shared Airbnb. That's the last time we did that.
Yeah. Yeah, and I had fallen asleep throwing up in the bathroom that night. And then one of them came in and was like, no, honey, you cannot sleep here. that was embarrassing. That was embarrassing. I will admit.
All right. Well, I'm going to take a break.
I'm so jealous that you have hard liquor.
I don't know why you don't.
Because I will drink it.
I really won't. I only drink vodka with you, even virtually. It's like if Haley's around, I'm drinking vodka.
I'm just... That's the thing, though. It's like I love hard liquor. Like way more than wine.
I love wine, but like also a vodka soda makes me feel light. And right now, that's all I want is to feel light. I have to get ice.
Okay. In the meantime, for all of our visual viewers, here is Sophia. Sophia, you have anything to say? Sophia, you have anything to say? Oh my God, it's so hot. I don't know what to do with myself. You're wearing your Van Gogh shirt. I'm dead.
I love this shirt.
Back to the podcast.
Back to the podcast. And speaking of bread, I need some bread to soak up this vodka.
Caleb, what is your most embarrassing moment? Stay on topic.
My most embarrassing moment is also in Chicago. The night was anything but young. And we were finished. And this is like when Chicago, I don't know if they still do this, but Chicago is one of the places where the bars stay open until 5 a.m. And we were like out at our favorite club in the world, Roscoe's Tavern. Love that place so much, and we
love it so much.
We're done at Roscoe's, and then we went to I think some other places. Hydrate, maybe. Do you remember the one place we went where it was like the thumping music, and we had to get out?
Yeah,
I think that was Hydrate. I'm like losing my ability to breathe.
Caleb and I locked ourselves in the bathroom together, trying to get away from
the music,
the thumping, because it was inside of me.
It was insane, and we. Left and went to this place called Charlie's, and we were like dancing on a pole. Remember? It was intense.
Yeah, I would like to forget.
So we were like, we were like partying it up to like 4 a.m. and it was bad. And then we went to IHOP after.
Oh!
Yeah, we're gonna go there. Yeah. So we get to IHOP. And we all order our food. And it's like when I drink, I order everything. You had like an omelet, pancakes, toast. Like I had like chicken strips. I ordered the appetizer sampler as well.
Yeah. Honestly, the appetizer sampler slaps. Their mozzarella sticks slap.
I got an exuberant amount of food. And then we waited for like 20 minutes. And right before the food came, I was like, okay, I need to go potty. So I went into the bathroom of IHOP, and I went potty, and I washed my hands. Mm-hmm. And then I thought to myself, gosh, I need a quick break. I was like, I can't go out there and like converse and talk. I was like, I just need to gather myself before I enjoy this meal. So I looked at the floor, and I said, I wonder what that would feel like. And I sat down on the floor, and I thought, what a relief. What a relief. And then I realized how cold the floor was. And I said, what a cozy floor. And I remember just sliding my hands across that grimy bathroom tile.
IHOP
and
floor.
I said, I'm just going to shut my eyes. I'm just going to shut my eyes for a beat. I'm going to open them, and I'm going to go eat my food. And I shut my eyes. I did that. And then I opened my eyes because I heard banging on the door. I had no idea that like 20 minutes had passed between the time I shut and opened my eyes, and it was the manager banging on the door. And I opened it up, and the manager looked at me and he said, "You have to leave. You have to leave." And I left that IHOP without having a bite of food that I ordered, and I paid for it all.
That was like what you're the most upset about.
How dare he? How dare he? Not.
I remember looking at everyone. I was like, "We have to go." They're like, "Should we pack up his food?" I was like, "No, we have to get out."
No one packed my food. They literally sent me away with an empty stomach. Like, if I passed out in the bathroom, the least you could do is let me eat. The least you could do. Like, clearly I need it. I could not make it out.
Oh my God.
Also, that door was so hard to
hilarious.
open and unlock. It was just too much energy to leave. Like, I had to take a beat.
I just remember thinking, like, where's Caleb?
Gone.
Like, obviously, I was drunk as well. Everyone was sloshed.
I was in the
but,
fetal
like,
position next to the toilet in an IHOP bathroom.
I would have paid to see that. I would have paid to see it. Because this is what happened. The minute that I realized that you weren't there, I was like, wait, where's Caleb? The manager was knocking on the bathroom door. And I was like, oh, God. Chicago brings out the worst in us
We
every
can't
single
go
time,
back.
but I love it.
No, it's
I love
bad.
it.
It's really bad.
It's bad. It's so bad that it's refreshing. It feels like I'm young again every time I go.
No, I'm not. I've never felt refreshed. But I'll tell you what, I've never had a bad time.
Right, that's
I've never had a bad
always
time.
a good time.
But I do have times that I deeply, deeply regret. But you know what? I don't regret it because I can tell that story today. So I really should eat something. The next...
No.
I know I got to stay on topic.
No.
You're losing me. You're losing me. All right. The next question. We've only got through 2 questions and we are 40 minutes in.
I told you. I was like, let's just answer questions.
My biggest fear is
that'll
like
be enough.
running out of content or things to talk about.
I know. I'm always like, just wing it.
Okay. Why have you not danced to a Backstreet Boys song? Come on, just do it. Maybe we shouldn't talk about that because I've had too much vodka and I don't want to say anything wrong. Backstreet Boys
Ooh,
is
tea.
part of the group of artists that...
That we cannot do.
Well,
because
we
they're on
don't.
a
No,
certain
we're not
label.
saying that. It's not that we can't do it. It's that we're not supporting them because they don't support us.
You're right.
Not the artist,
You're right.
not-
But even before, the realization that we shouldn't do that, we didn't do a Backstreet Boys song.
Which I'm
and
upset
really
about.
upset about it.
I'm upset we didn't do Backstreet Boys and NSYNC before we knew that certain record labels
couldn't.
didn't want us to use
Yeah.
their music, and so we
Yeah,
will never do it again.
We have met the Backstreet Boys.
We have met them, every single one of them. We should talk about that. Oh my God, let's talk about it. All right, we're gonna save all
Okay,
these
so-
questions for the next cocktail.
You're a mess. I need more wine.
I'm a
Hold on.
mess. I'm a
I'm
loser.
gonna chug this real quick.
Chug it, baby. Glub, glub, glub. Cheers.
I'm gonna go get more.
I'm dead that you left in the last podcast when I said, "What's your intention, bitch?"
I know. Okay, what was it? What were we gonna? Oh, Backstreet Boys. So we were in Vegas.
Yep.
With for Ramsey, our friend Ramsey, and for Cameron's birthday.
This is gonna go. This is a whole story. This is a whole story.
I mean, it's really not that big of a story. So relax. But anyway. We're in Vegas for their birthdays. Drew Scott and Linda Scott and Jonathan and Anna Lee, like the whole Property Brothers squad. Okay, they're all there.
The Property family.
Yeah, the Property family. And we were sitting like in front of Planet Hollywood. Oh, we were planning on going to the Backstreet Boys. Like,
No, we weren't.
Concert.
No, we weren't. Remember?
Yes, we were.
Because
We weren't, but then we were. We weren't, and then we were.
Because Drew texted us and then was like, "Hey,"
And asked us if we wanted to go.
yeah, do you guys want to get tickets? And so we were like, "Oh, sure."
I was like, absolutely.
Yeah. I
I love
thought I had more of a
Backstreet Boys.
point than that, but I pardon my interruption.
I guess not. Okay, anyway. So we're sitting in front of like the Planet Hollywood where like the big bar is. We're about to go see the Backstreet Boys, thinking that we're just gonna have like a regular ass.
Well, because they had
experience.
seats, like they had like really nice like VIP.
They had like the
table seats.
VIP seats,
And we
yeah.
were sitting in like the regular seat.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, I was like excited, obviously,
so excited.
but like I was like, I was sad that I was gonna be separated from like Drew and Linda and Ramsey or whatever, but I was like, I'm obviously still very excited. And then Drew pulls out these
I can't
fucking
do it.
wristbands.
I can't do it.
And was like, these are like meet and greet passes. And I said, what? And at this point, like I'm kind of like I'm kind of like buzzed, and I'm like, oh my god, I have to stop drinking. Like, that cannot meet the Backstreet Boys and be drunk. Like, I start profusely sweating. I'm like, oh my god, you cannot do this to me. Like, I'm full. My entire world did a 360. I was like, no, you can't just do this to me.
Well, side note, because we don't like to drink before we see people that we like stan. Like
Right.
when we're seeing Britney,
Absolutely.
like we're like in Vegas, we're like
We
sober
had like
as a duck.
maybe 2 drinks over the course of 6 hours because we were waiting in line for 6 hours.
I do not want to be drunk when I'm seeing someone that I love. I want to soak it
Right.
in.
Right.
So, anyways,
And I also don't like to be drunk in front of people
No.
that like I admire.
nope.
You know,
Nope.
even like drinking in front of like Drew and Linda, I'm like, take it easy.
Well, especially drinking in
Take
front of
it
people who
easy.
don't drink, you're just like, I don't want to look like a buffoon.
But they were drinking that night.
We took fireball shots.
They were.
Side note, also, Vegas is so funny because Vegas is done 2 ways. You go as a normal person and you empty your savings account for everything that you do. And you are treated like dirt, and you accept that you are dirt when you are in Vegas. Unless that you are a girl with really scantily dressed but amazing shoes. And
You've gotta have the good shoes, because if you come in a club with some nice sneakers, they will turn
Haley
you away.
got turned away. We were in line for a club, and she got turned away because she had Falcons on, and we were trying to explain to the bouncer that Falcons were worn by Kylie Jenner and they were good shoes.
You were like, these are Kylie Jenner shoes.
Vegas is just not made for gays, and just like it's not even made for like young. It's just made for like, never mind. I don't even know. Like dirty straight men. It's made to prey on women. It's made to prey on women.
It's made for the rich.
It's made for the rich. So anyway, when you go as a normal person, that's one way to do it. Or you go with someone who is of notable stature. You go with a celebrity. When we're with the Property Brothers, when we're with Drew and Linda, it's just a whole different experience. And we obviously recognize it, but it's you quickly forget how the magic runs out as soon as you're not with people who matter.
We were sitting in, after like Drew and Linda left, we were sitting in just like a random like hotel bar. Like, what now? Like, honestly, like,
No,
what
nothing.
do we do? Like,
Because you can't go to any clubs, you can't go anywhere, but because everything's like roped off, there's a cover for everything. Everything is, oh, well, how many girls do you have with you? But like when you're with,
and I was the only girl amongst like 4 guys.
you were not enough. So when you go with a celebrity, it's like, oh, here, let me, you know this guy, let me open the red carpet. Oh yeah, of course, come in here. You guys sit at this table. Here's
Right.
drinks. It's just a different experience. And also, just so that this is clear, like Drew and Linda and Jonathan, none of them ever have acted like they're owed anything, expect anything. It's
Absolutely
just when you
not.
have connections with when you're a celebrity and you also like can pay for things, it's just a different experience. And so we were with them and they handed us these meet and greet passes for the Backstreet Boys. And we obviously were freaking out, and we had already drank a little bit. And then we go into the theater, and then we go backstage. They like lead us back to like the meet and greet area. And it's like, it's not like a trailer. It's like a mini apartment, it feels like, with a ping pong table and
I'm getting
a
flashbacks
bar,
of like
and there's like kids and like adults and like girls and like middle-aged women who are like freaking out. It's just an interesting mix. And then in this mix, you have the Backstreet Boys walking around just like regular people. Literally, AJ is playing ping pong
with his like
Jonathan
kids.
Scott.
He's like eating cheese. AJ like grabbed a few blocks of cheese and like looked at us and like he was like, it soothes my stomach before shows. And I'll just mind you, AJ is one of my favorite people on this planet.
I can't. It's just, it was too much for normal
I was
people
playing
to process.
ping pong with his daughter. I was just like living my best.
I remember like Nick like walking past me, and I was like, oh my God, it's Nick Carter. That was like one of my first crushes.
Insane.
And then we got a picture with Brian, Kevin,
And Howie.
But I think AJ and Nick had left at that point. But we were just like literally like pitter-pattering around with the Backstreet Boys.
There's like an open bar. Like it was like, I was like, what is this?
It was too.
But I loved
it was
it.
too much to process, and then we got to like obviously go to the show and enjoy that. I have no idea.
Oh my God.
How we got on this point? How did we get here? Because someone asked why we haven't done a Backstreet Boys. Did we even answer the question?
Anyways, not doing a Backstreet
Not doing
Boys
a Backstreet
song
Boys
anytime soon. But I'm sad about it.
We love them.
Because The Call is one of my favorite
Yep.
songs of my life.
The Call is an incredible song. Black and Blue is my favorite Backstreet Boys album. Does Cam get jealous of you guys, or does Haley get jealous of you and Cam?
I think Cameron gets jealous of us.
Every single time. Last night I was joking with him and I said, hey Cameron, like I think I might be bi. And he said, just marry her.
I hate that.
He like it's a joke, but
hate that.
he legitimately thinks that like I am
He's
in love
dead
with you.
ass.
He's dead ass.
Yeah. Yeah, I got a lot of questions on the Coffee with my ex, which I can't look at because my phone's being used and we didn't get to even half the fucking questions that we got asked. But a lot of the questions were like, are Haley and Caleb still in love? Is Cameron jealous? Does Haley even like Cameron? Like a lot of those things.
I don't know.
But I think that a lot of those things we should save and have Cameron on the podcast.
Yeah, we should. We should have. Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
Oh
that'd
gosh,
be
because
fun.
no one ever.
All right,
hears
ask
him
me the
talk.
question. We'll save that. We'll save that.
We'll save that. Okay.
Ask me the question.
What normal things in life turn you on, like peaches or car exhaust pipes, for example?
What? Car exhaust pipes?
They're very phallic.
Peaches? I can't say that any of those things do it for me.
What inanimate object does it for you?
Sorry. I'm sorry that nothing comes to mind.
You're weird. It's so meaty. It's the perfect cylinder. That girth? The girth of the exhaust pipe?
Okay, next question.
Oh, no, I didn't get to answer.
Okay, what?
Mayonnaise.
A cucumber. A cucumber, Caleb?
I'm gonna pretend.
do
I'm
this.
gonna pretend you did not bring that up. I'm gonna pretend, and we're gonna move on.
I wish that you
we're gonna
never
move on.
did.
We're gonna move on. We're gonna move on immediately. We're gonna move on. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and give my answer now that I'm comfortable with. Okay. Okay. Mayonnaise. Mayonnaise. Do you know why? And I don't know if
I don't care.
I want to know. I don't care if you care. I want to know if anyone else feels this. Because sometimes when I eat mayonnaise that's like extra flavorful, extra like the kind of mayonnaise that's like has a lot of chemicals in it. And this also happens with like
good
spicy
mayonnaise.
mayo and like eel, like mostly like mayo based like sauces. And I get this euphoric tingling inside my brain. I swear to you, it feels like someone's tickling my brain. And it is erotic. Like it is a sexual, orgasmic experience. I can feel it right now. I'm getting numb.
problematic. Caleb, stop.
Just give
Caleb,
me a jar
you
of
can't-
mayonnaise.
Caleb.
I'm not kidding. Like, haha, it's funny. But also, like, if you give me the right mayonnaise that can tickle my pickle, I will lose my mind.
I don't want to be friends anymore.
Well, you
wanna
don't
break
have a
up.
choice. You don't have a choice.
This is not okay.
And you don't want to give an answer.
I don't have an answer. I literally don't have an answer.
I've seen the way you look at. I've seen the way you look at sugar.
I do love sugar. I love sugar.
Oh my gosh. Okay, wait. This is a really good question. Do straws have one hole or two?
2.
Are you sure?
Yes, a hole is like open-ended.
Yeah.
It has 2 holes. You can flip the straw any which way.
So you're
This
saying
way,
that a
that's one
hole
hole, and this is
doesn't.
the second
If a
hole.
hole is open-ended, then it's not a hole.
No, it is a hole. There's 2 open ends.
But so if a hole, like a golf hole, for example, you're saying that's not a hole?
That's a hole.
But why? It
Has
doesn't
an
have two
end.
open. It has one open end.
It has an open end, but what I'm saying is the straw has two open ends, so there's two holes.
So anything with an open end is a hole.
Yeah.
Huh.
What do you think?
I look at holes as...
Get your first of all, get your hand out of your mouth.
I'm going to say it has one hole.
You're just saying that because I said it had two.
And that's not true. I thought about this. You could, it's one hole you pass through. If you go, say, okay, here's my deal. Say you were an ant, right? Say that you crawled through that. You would say, oh, I crawled through a hole. You wouldn't say, oh, I crawled through two holes.
If ants routinely crawled through straws, I would say there's one hole. But they don't.
Well, do you know all the ants personally? Are you able to say that you don't know that an ant routinely crawls through the same hole of a straw?
Next question.
I just think that you're being a little close-minded. One more question.
Make it good. Make it count.
Okay. Wait. What was our biggest fight? And I have one in mind.
What is it? Because I don't remember.
I remember.
I don't remember. Fight. Is it the one in Bloomington?
Yeah.
All of our fights that we get into are so petty and stupid.
They're so petty and stupid.
I
Most
can
of the
think
time
of a
because
few
you're
that
petty
are.
and stupid.
I can think of only a few that are like a little scandalous.
We fight quite a lot, but we don't get in usually fights that are like blowout fights.
We don't get into blowout fights very often, no.
But I remember our first blowout fight.
But I think that was like one of our first fights, though.
We really had never fought up into that point.
Yeah. It was kind of towards like the beginning of the fitness marshal. Like us beginning to work together. Cameron was there.
That was one of the worst nights of my life.
I honestly couldn't even tell you what even happened.
I can tell you exactly what happened because it's printed into
Caleb,
my
I think
brain.
that you remember it a certain way, and that's not true.
So little innocent me was moseying along.
Okay,
with the best of intentions.
Not true.
We had gone to the Back Door, which was a gay bar in Bloomington, and
Love
we
the
were
Back Door.
singing.
Shout out
to the Back Door. We were seeing a drag performer called her name is Willem, and she was performing at the Back Door, and the show was over, and everyone was ready to go to the next bar. Someone like Patricio came up to me.
What the fuck?
Argenta Perone is her drag name, Argenta. And she was like, hey, somehow she was, no, did I? No, I don't think I bought meet and greet tickets. I think Argenta was just like, hey, you can, because they were sold out. That's why they were sold out. And so Argenta told me to get in line with Cameron. Or actually, no, she told me us all to. No, she told us all to get in line.
Yes, she didn't. No, she didn't. None of us were there with you.
Well, okay, so Cameron and Haley and who else was there? Jerica had all left the bar. And then Argenta was like, hey, get in line, you can do a meet and greet. And I said, hey guys, come back, we can do a meet and greet. And you guys had already wanted to go and leave the bar. Don't shake your head. What? Correct me.
I don't think that happened. I think that you just went into the meet and greet, like you went to the meet and greet line and didn't tell us what you were doing.
So Argenta
and we were like texting
told me that I could do a meet and greet because we were like talking for a minute, and so I wasn't responding.
But
not only me, because they're in the meet and greet photo. Cameron's in that photo, so everyone was invited. I had just
because he went last minute into the line because he was with me at first,
right? And so I said, everyone come back here, and you guys said no, and I was like, I'm not giving up a meet and greet spot to meet Willem, like absolutely not. And I was like, you can wait a second if you don't want to be a part of it. And they were so mad that I like didn't want to leave the bar, and I didn't want to, because they were waiting on me. And I was like, don't wait on me, just walk to the bar. If you don't want the meet and greet, go to the bar.
I think that the moral of it was that it felt like we were an afterthought.
Oh,
and you know how I hate to be an afterthought.
God, you were not an afterthought.
Like, just tell me the tea. Like, tell me that, like, I wasn't invited, because I personally wasn't invited, and so if I'm not personally invited, I feel like I'm just like like an extra.
Okay,
and no one wants to feel like an extra.
Well, even okay, I will play into your side. Even if you were an extra, I said, go on to the bar. I'm going to do my meet and greet, and I will meet you there. And you guys were so mad about it.
It's just annoying. You're just annoying.
That's not annoying. That's me taking an opportunity.
Just an annoyance.
I wanted a picture.
First of all, at the time, I didn't know Jerica. That was the first night I had met her. And I was like, what am I? You guys are supposed to be my friends, and you guys just fucking left me.
So I take the meet and greet picture. We get to the next bar. And then it's called Brothers. And I don't remember how, but I remember we were on the second floor, and I think the second table. And I don't know how we were talking, but I remember the exact position we were in, because you were kind of towering over me a little bit. I did too. We were
sitting like over like a small like table.
Yeah, and I don't know what we were talking about.
Standing.
I think we were just having this discussion, and you were like, I'm not placing blame. But you know how sometimes, especially in that state, did you have braces yet? Because that was also different, Haley.
No.
Okay.
No.
You were I think you were just, the way you were talking was aggressive. And
well, I was drunk.
And you were just talking very sharp at me. And I felt very attacked with a capital A. And we were just like fighting over, like, I should not have gotten that meet and greet picture. I should have left with my friends. And I don't remember like the exact conversation. I just know that I was so furious and flustered. I left the bar and I decided to walk. And I didn't walk.
Hold on, before you say that, I want to let you guys know that I'm not usually very confrontational unless it's with people that I know well. Then it's like I can't do anything but be confrontational. Like, I don't really know where I stand on am I confrontational or am I not, because I'm very confrontational with people that I know well. But if I don't know you well at all, I'm not confrontational.
That's true. That's true. Wow, that's weird. Because that's whenever you say you're not confrontational, I'm like, excuse me? But then I guess if you're around people that you don't know, you're not at all. You're right. You would never like go up to someone you don't know and be like, I have a problem with you. That's your worst nightmare.
Or like even that I don't know that well. Like if it's a matter like, are you in my close personal circle?
Yeah.
Because if you're not, then like I can't really give my energy to that. But if you are, then it's like I cannot stop thinking about whatever it is that's pissing me off until I tell you.
That's
like I have to tell you.
That makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. That makes me feel better in a weird way. I just remember I was like gonna walk home, but like it was also really cold out. It was really cold out. And I just started walking around Bloomington drunk. And I think
that's one of the reasons I was pissed, is because you had me waiting out in the fucking cold, and I didn't have a sweater on, I didn't have a coat on, because we were going to the bar, so no one wants to carry around a coat. Well,
that sounds like poor planning on your part. So, so anyway, they ended up like going home, and like, at this point, I'm not the type of person to just like leave the bar and go AWOL and start like walking around. Like, that's not me. I hate when I don't know where my people are. It's like a security blanket. So they're all like back at the apartment, and I am walking around Bloomington, like literally pacing at 2:30 in the morning with nowhere to go.
Because of me.
But I won't go home because I can't face Haley out of principle. Like, I can't look at her. I don't want to sleep in that house. I'm considering getting a hotel. Like, I don't want to be in the same place as her. I can't face her. Like, and also a lot of it was like I was too like anxious to talk to you. Like, I could not walk in that house and look at you and be like, what's up? I couldn't do it. And I just...
Can we talk about the next morning?
What?
Can we talk about the next morning?
I don't remember the next morning at all. I just remember getting home and me freaking out and being like, all right, that's it. We're going to have this blowout. I'm going to scream at her. She's going to scream at me. And you were just on the couch and you're like, hey, where you been? And I was like, you psychopath. What? You're going to be nice to me?
The next morning we woke up and I went into you were in Cameron's room, and I was like, hey. And you laughed. You're like, hey. I was like that was it. Like that was literally it. That was it. Like that was it being put to rest. Whatever it was that happened, which I like don't even know. I like honestly still don't know. Apparently you remember more than I do. Maybe I fucked up. I don't know.
We don't usually get into fights when we drink. Like we usually are like very just giggly and
On
in
the same
sync.
page.
So that was like a very
Yeah.
we'd never experienced that before.
No, yeah.
But usually like it's like the meme. Have you seen the meme where it's like when like you and your best friend get in a fight and you like it's like when me and my best friend get a fight and you text them, I said what I said, heal from it or move on.
Yeah. That's what it's like.
Just there's no other option. There's no time.
There's
just no time to be in a fight.
especially when you work
Things
together,
move
which is
quickly.
a whole other episode.
you gotta keep
You
going.
just gotta keep going.
Oh,
The amount of times that I swallow my like pride being like upset with you, like even today.
I know.
I was like, even today, he texted me and he was like 7:00. And I was like, no, 6. You literally sent me a calendar invite last night without me even confirming with you what time.
I'm glad you brought this up.
I woke up, I took a nap, and I woke up to a calendar invite of 6 p.m. coffee with my
Okay.
ex. He texted me today and was like 7 p.m. at 6:15, which I was just like sitting here waiting for him at 6:15. He sends me a text saying 7 p.m.
Well,
and I'm like, well, you said 6, so what's the point? What even is the point of sending a calendar
I'm glad
invite?
you brought this
and
up.
you know what? I swallowed my pride.
I know you did. And I didn't, there was no reason for me to be like, oh, I didn't know. Cause like there was no point in having that conversation. So what had happened was, cause we had planned on doing this after like playing games. And so there was no like really end time. What I didn't,
Well, that's what I had figured.
What I
is that
didn't
I was gonna wait for you
realize
to play games.
is that Cameron had sent Haley a calendar invite without telling me. And so I didn't know I knew it was going to be around 6-ish, but I didn't know there was a hard time. And then I looked at my calendar after you texted me and I was like, oh, it says coffee with my ex, 6 p.m. invite Haley. And I was like, I didn't send this. I wasn't informed.
I didn't approve of this.
But like, what's the point? Instead, the bottom line is you got the invite. So like, you were there and I wasn't.
Even still, like when you called me, I was discombobulated. I thought I had it all figured out over here. I had everything set up and still discombobulated.
You did your best. I thought, you know what? I think this was a great episode. I had a lot of fun.
I did too. We should just drink and we should do coffee with my ex in the morning. Call it coffee with my ex and just have cocktails.
You don't like day drinking, neither do I.
I do like day drinking. What are
If
you
it's like
talking
a
about?
brunch day, then sure. But like, I don't want to wake up and like have a cocktail. Like, if I'm gonna drink, I'm gonna go. If I'm drinking in the morning, I'm gonna drink because I can't have
know,
like
I
a
like
glass
it.
and just like go about my day.
Oh, no. If I'm going to drink in the day, I'm dedicating myself that day to drinking.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can't just like go back from that. But also college had kind of like ruined that for me because I swear to God we would get up at 7 a.m. to drink on tailgating days and also drink the night before.
No,
And I'm just
nope.
like, and that's every time I think of day drinking, I go back to that and I just think about how like terrible that was for me. But like it doesn't have to be that way. So that's all.
awful.
You have to get up at 7 a.m.
Ugh,
Kegs and eggs.
I would never. Ew.
TBT, kegs and eggs.
Oh my God. Do we have an intention for the week? Are we doing that?
I want to let everyone know that my intention for last week was to finish my puzzle, and I did that. And I got so many DMs like, "Oh my God, Haley, you actually completed an intention. Look at you." My intention this week is to stay sane.
To stay sane? Sweetie, we're reaching. We are reaching.
I've had a really hard week, guys, and it's Friday.
Yeah, you're almost done. Almost time to fuck up the next week.
Yeah.
I have no intention. You know what?
You have to make one up, even if you don't care about it. Just make one up.
My intention. It's just like my intention of life is always to wake up earlier and just like work out. And I'll never do it. I'll never do it.
I feel like you've been doing a good job of that. Whenever I look on my Apple Watch, you're still getting a workout.
It's like I do. I'm not doing. It's not like I'm not working out. It's just like I'm not doing it as much as I want to be. And when I'm working out, I'm only doing it in short bursts.
Exactly how they want to. No one is working out exactly how they want to be working out right now. I ran outside today in 100-degree weather. You think I had fun doing that?
No.
And that's what I want to do? No, I want to be inside, air-conditioned, treadmill. That's where I want to be, where I have a spring for my knees. That's where I want to be. But no, I'm stuck outside running in 100-degree weather, getting sunburn on my cheeks, aging. No, it's not my steez.
No. Cameron just walked into the office with a handle of Kettle One.
I wish I was with you guys right now. I wish I was there.
I have begged you to move in. And you know why? Because she has
guys,
two
he's literally
titty
begged
tats.
me to move in.
She has
and I would if I didn't have 2 cats.
I told her she can bring the cats.
But also, like, when is this quarantine going to end? Like, I don't know what that means.
It will
like,
end in September. Yeah. You're going to be here for a minute. So, yeah. So let me know if you want to move in, because that's still an open invitation. It'd make our lives a lot easier. Or harder. There's not enough space in here for all of us to live.
There's not enough space in there for me, but I'm a very good roommate. What is happening over there?
Oh, Juice has the zoomies. I didn't even think about that, but the last 5 minutes of this podcast is just Juice's pause. All right, we have to go. We have to go.
No, we have to go because honestly, my computer's about to die.
Yeah, no,
my
this has gone
phone's
on way
gonna
too
die.
long. Let us know if you like this episode, if you like cocktails with my ex, or if we should keep it strictly at coffee so we are more on track. I personally think this would be really fun to do, like every now and then. You know, like
Yeah.
I
think it's necessary. I think it shows both sides of us.
Yeah.
like. Yeah,
We're 9 episodes in.
And drunk is my only 2 states of mind.
My God. Okay, so you guys can find us at Coffee with My Ex on Instagram, and we have a visual version on YouTube. You can find us on Spotify, Apple Music, anywhere you listen to podcasts, and of course, the Fitness Marshal on YouTube. We do dance videos all the time, and we have our Booty Army membership where we do 60-minute live streams every single